Hey everyone, it's Leo Young here, and I just watched the first episode of Black Lightning Season 1, titled Pilot. Now, I just want to get this right off the bat. DC, light's not supposed to be on. DC, you did a great job. You knocked me off my feet. This is exactly not what I expected it to be. Alright, so, right now I'm just going to say right now, I was not expecting the amount of racism in the show. Not in the, well, I was about to say not in the bad way, like, not like they made Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, his name is Jefferson Pierce, not like they made him bite into a chicken wing, but more like the way the world is more realistic than it is in Arrow and all that. And I'll explain why later in the video. So, right off the bat, I'm very excited for how the character has turned out. When I saw him about a year ago, I actually did a video on his costume. I was disappointed, but I'm glad that I was at least able to see the original OG comic book version of his suit. So if you are curious if you're going to see that, you definitely will. As for the character himself, Black Lightning is I was going to say a mild-mannered Luke Cage, but I'm thinking about comic books. He's like Luke Cage, though, with that he's very calm. He's respectful. He was in a lot of situations where he's just like, I could fry you, I could kill you, I could turn you into a light bulb if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because that's not my life. So, right off the bat, the main characters of the show are Black Lightning, Jefferson Pierce, his two daughters, the man who made his suit, Paul Gambini, his wife, a man named Latavius, but he calls himself Lala, the main villain of the season, Tobias Whale, and I believe that the leader of the commissioner of the police is in charge, is a main character. He seems to be a good friend of Black Lightning. But like right off the bat, you learn something. You learn that Black Lightning has been gone for 19 years. He's been doing the Batman v Superman thing where he's no longer been around. And later on, they explain why. They explain that he was in he was shot multiple times, like in the trailer, and they show that he's in like a tub full of blood. But the reason he quit was not because of that, but because his wife was like, you need to stop. Your children see you. I'd rather you be a drug dealer than a superhero who's just risking your life for nothing. And then he's like, alright, fine, I quit. And after that, basically, where he lives, I believe it went downhill because the man who thought he killed him, Tobias Whale, basically took over this gang called the 100, and they're everywhere. This whole town is basically in fear of this gang 100. In fact, Jefferson's oldest daughter, I do not remember his daughter's names, I'm very sorry, but his oldest daughter, we see her being taken out of jail because she was at a protest, basically. A protest trying to get rid of like the non-equality and the 100 and all the violence and all that. But the 100, the thing about the 100 is it is one of the most ballsy and brazen gangs in any show that I've ever seen. They even said it, like, this gang was willingly, like, shooting or throwing smoke bombs into the crowd, into the protest. Like, there's a scene later on where they run into a high school, and take a teacher and a student, like in the trailer, in broad daylight. And I was like, what? What kind of gang is this? But anyways, so we get off right on the back, and we learn where the main issue comes from. The issue doesn't come from Pierce not being Black Lightning. Like I said, he stopped for 19 years, so there's no reason for him to get back. It starts with his younger daughter. She's more of a hothead. In fact, her sister calls her fast ass, which means she's growing up faster than she should be, or she's a whore, one of the two. I believe it's the first one. So she goes to a club owned by the 100, and she starts flirting with this guy, or this guy starts flirting with her. And basically, one of the gang members comes up, and he takes the dude, and because she's talking to him, I guess they assume that she's with him, they bring her with him. And like during this time, Black Lightning learns that his daughter's at the club by his oldest daughter. He's like, what? I'm gonna go get her right now. He just walks over there in his suit. But this is where it really shows that the show is dark as hell. Basically, Latavius is in the back room with this gang, with this young dude, and Black Lightning's youngest daughter. And he's like, Latavius is like, you owe us money, so we're gonna start hoeing your girlfriend out at the motel until it's done. And Latavius is like, is that cool with you? The kid is not dating this girl. He just met her, and he's like, yeah, that's cool, man. That's totally fine. And she's like, I'm not with him. I'm out. And Black Lightning does this thing. And it is fucking unbelievable what they're willing to do. Like, okay, I skipped this one scene because I didn't think it was. I did think it was important, but I wanted to get into like how they're using race as an actual like strong point, not like a tool, but as an actual thing. As they're leaving the police station, this is way earlier. As they're leaving the police station, they are pulled over, and they force Jefferson Pierce, again Black Lightning, out of his car, and bring him to a cop car. Like, they're like, is this the man who did it? And there's a Chinese woman in the back, and she's like, not him. Basically, a black man robbed a liquor store, and they thought it was him. And the thing is, he's getting angry. He's like, what? You thought a black man in a tuxedo with a family-sized sedan with 2 teenage girls in the back seat stole liquor? And the cop is just like, have a nice day. And this man wants to kill him. Like, Black Lightning wants to just unlimited power. Star Wars reference. And I would have done the same thing, but this man's like, no, I'm gonna calm down. But while he's doing it, his powers are able to shut off the police car. The sirens turn off. Everything's starting to like turn off. But he's like, I have 2 girls. I'm not gonna get into this. And he leaves. He does this exact same power when he goes to the club. Basically, he shuts out the power and he starts frying some dudes. Nobody dies. Everyone dies. Nobody gets shot with lightning like that and walks away without like a mental injury. And during the fight, it's a fight in the dark. He gets shot, and that's where we lead to the trailer where he's walking out to the alleyway. Cops come up. He's like, all right, you got me. You win. He's not wearing his suit. Again, he's just a dude. He's a black guy. Gunshots were heard in the club. All that stuff. Cops come up, and he's about to like get on the knees because he's like, all right, I'm done. I've been shot. I don't care. Till one of the cops yells this, get your black ass on the ground. And that makes him flip. They shoot him with the tasers, electricity, doesn't work. He grabs the tasers, tases them back, and causes about a couple $1,000s in taxpayer damage by blowing up the cop car, whatever. And he goes to the man who built his suit, Paul Gambini. Or Gambini. I don't even think it's Paul. I know there's 2 of them. There's a good one and a bad one. They're brothers. They're both named Gambini. I believe this one's name is Paul. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But the rest of the show basically goes downhill from there. And it's not because of him. Like I said, it wasn't because of Black Lightning. It's because of his young girl. This kid who owed Latavius money basically pimped her out without her permission. And then he's getting scared. He's like, I have no money. I don't have a way to pay him back. I'm just going to go get the girl and bring him to Latavius. And that's where we come to the scene at the school. They walk into the school. They drag them out at gunpoint. He brings the girls to Latavius, Lala. And Latavius is pissed off. He's like, dude, you know whose daughters these are? Because you see, the thing about Black Lightning is he's a principal for one of the most protected or well-received schools. No gang violence, no nothing going on there. And these are his daughters. And he's like, dude, their father is like Jesus to the city or this town. Kill them and make them disappear. And Black Lightning shows up in his new suit. Again, I do not like his new suit. I said it a year ago. It's just too bulky. I really like the classic suit that they showed off, where the lightning is actually like, the lightning is yellow lining and the inside is blue. I like that a lot more than I liked his bulky suit. But they showed the use of it. He got shot and a bullet was basically stuck in the suit. He was like, pew! But that's pretty much where the issue of the season comes out. Like, because this kid didn't kill the girls, they go and they tell the cops, it's like, here's what happens. And the rest in the 100, the gang is basically like, these kids need to die. And because they are his daughters, Black Lightning basically spends most of his time trying to protect them by fighting off the gangs. So he comes back. He's 100% Black Lightning. And this is what draws in the main villain of the season, Tobias Whale. He's basically the man, I said, who believes he killed Black Lightning. In fact, he believes it so much. Excuse me. He brings Latavius to his office and he's like, yo, there's this dude who's kind of dressed like Black Lightning. Can you deal with him? And I believe, like, over the course of the season, he's basically going to learn that is the real Black Lightning, and it's time for him to come back out of retirement, or gang retirement, or whatever, and go full force at the man and kill him again. Kill. And that is pretty much the season. That is a basic ass summary of what this episode was. It is a way to build up on the universe, build up on the planet, build up on the characters. Again, the main characters are Black Lightning, his 2 daughters, his cop friend, I believe their mother. I'm not 100% sure though. She may have like a Wally West mother type of thing going on. Tobias, Lala, and the man who made his suit, Paul Gambini. Those are the main characters that I'm seeing. Maybe the cop, again, not sure. And the 100 is the main henchman of Tobias. The thing about this show, again, I did not expect the straight up race car that they played, but they didn't play it like as a way to move the story. It's just a thing. He is a normal man, normal as can be, in a normal world, in today's world where not every black man is received in the best intentions. This dude is also like gigantic. I think he's 6'8". I'm just kidding, but he's big. He's an imposing male. One thing I had noticed though during the show is that they had hinted to the possibility that there are other people with superpowers within the world. And what's so important about that is, for you who do not know and you're still watching, Black Lightning is not connected to the CW. Black Lightning is not connected to the main CW universe. It's not in the world of Arrow. So Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, they are not in there, and is not in Supergirl. He's in his own world. So they're building off another verse, the Black Lightning verse, basically. And I'm very curious to see what characters they pull out of like this world. I want to see it. I'm pretty sure Static might be a character. Just a hint. Just a hint that he's going to be. But I'm very curious and excited to see where they go with the show. DC, like I said, you swept me off my feet. I did not expect any of this. I'm going to give the show an 8 out of 10 simply because I didn't like the suit. The show was great, but I can't give it a 10. 8 out of 10 is great. 9 is if it's a 10, there's something really wrong, because that was not a 10. But anyways, I hope that answers some questions. If you guys have any questions about the show or anything, I do believe you need to watch the show. Like I said, this show is more believable than Arrow. Like in the first season of Arrow, it's a dude shooting bows and arrows and all that, and it's like, that's cool, but it's like there's something just about the world that doesn't feel right. In this one, in the Flash, you deal with Flash. In Legends of Tomorrow, like okay, let me tell you this: if you want a realistic world where a man has real problems, you watch Black Lightning. If you want a world where it's a bit over the top and there's no way a person could do that with a bow and arrow, Arrow and Flash. If you want a show that only exists to give people jobs, Legends of Tomorrow and Girl Power, Supergirl. But other than that, I got nothing else to say. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me about the show, I'd be happy to help. I'd be happy to answer. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit the subscribe button to get access to our notification gong and get updated to our next video. If you have never really seen Impressive Graphics, we are a news channel. We do entertainment, media, basically games, TVs, books, movies, all that type of stuff. But if you're not, and you still want to show support for the channel and what we do, hit the like button. Comment down below. Just say, hey, I have a question, or hey, your voice sucks, or hey, good video, and share with your friends and family. Other than that, though, like I normally say, I'm Leo Young, and I hope to see you in the next one. Stay impressive, and I feel like I do this a lot. I gotta stop.